Okay, so Craig, obviously 3 from 3 in the groups. Must be pretty happy with that and how you went.
Yeah, very happy. Like say 3 wins, which is what we came here to get. The pleasing thing is we've managed to rotate the squad as well, and we've managed to play some pretty attractive rugby league. So yeah, fantastic build up to what is the biggest game for most of us, really.
You mentioned that big game. Obviously, New Zealand in the semi-final is about as big as it gets, really. They came out just behind Australia in that final pool game. I mean, how do you kind of see how they went, and how do you see them going now?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to come and watch it live, and I thought New Zealand were fantastic that day. Again, similar to us, they've built as the games have gone on. And I thought that the form that they showed was fantastic, and for us, it's a big, exciting game, one that we're going to really confident based on what we've done and based on how we feel we travel as a team. But yeah, just really exciting against a quality side.
Obviously, this is England into the final four for the third consecutive time. If you include GB, it goes all the way back to the first competition back in 2000. How excited are you to be back here again and to get going in the knockout, I suppose?
Yeah, there's an history of us getting to the semi-finals and not quite kicking on to the next level. But for me, this is the first, and I'm really confident in the group we've got. It's really exciting because I feel as though we've got here through hard work. We've had some really tough games. We've come with some really good football in doing that. So it's just really exciting. But for us, it's about getting to that next stage. Semi-final isn't good enough for us. We've come here to win the World Cup, and nothing less than that will do.
Is that something that's been discussed as a squad? Obviously, getting to that semi, but never being to a final apart from the one GB one in 2000.
No, we've spent 4 years dreaming about getting to a final and winning it, and all our trainers being geared up to that. And to date, everything's going to plan. So we don't talk about the pressures of it. We don't talk about anything else apart from what is the next hurdle and how do we get over it.
Being involved in a home World Cup must be pretty amazing. Obviously, this is a pretty cool stadium, and then there's the prospect of that sort of carrot dangling in front of Old Trafford next Saturday. I mean, how great has it been being part of it, and how great have the crowd been?
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. An home World Cup, it's probably something everybody dreams of. Yeah, it's great to go to other countries, but to have it on home soil and to come to great stadiums like this one in York, we've just been discussing as coaches, being on the pitch, it feels real magical, and we can't wait, and we hope that the place is packed out. But yeah, for us in home World Cup, I think will make winning it even more special.
And obviously, you've had decent crowds at games and stuff, but also millions of people watching it on the BBC, which really feels like a kind of landmark moment for the sport, and in terms of kind of inspiring a generation. The phrase used a lot at the moment, but I mean, it may well have happened again here.
Yeah, the 1.2 million, I think it was, watched our last game, and that for us is absolutely mind blowing. And within that 1.2 million, we hope there's loads of young girls that are inspired to take up the sport, and I'd implore them to do that. Go out, find your local amateur club. Here in York, we've got a couple of really good ones as well. So get yourself to an amateur club, you'll be welcome. But yeah, a big part of what we're trying to do is, number one, we want to win a World Cup. Number two, we want to inspire that next level of girls to come and take up this sport. And rugby league is a fantastic sport, and regardless what other sports players have done, young girls, I implore you, go and take up the sport. You'll not regret it.
And then back to obviously looking at tomorrow, massive game obviously as we've touched upon. But what are the key battles to look out for, and who's really impressed you so far at this tournament from the New Zealand side?
Yeah, you've got to think about Racing McGregor in the half. She's an absolute quality player. The whole pack, they're a big physical pack, and they're going to take some handling. So I think there'll be a real big battle down the middle to begin with. Then it's about containing the halves like Racing McGregor. But I'm one to never forget what we've got. We've got a great pack, led by Vicky Whitfield at the moment, led by Captain Emily Rudge, and with Courtney and Roach in the halves. They're as good as any halves in the world, and tomorrow's probably a day to prove that.
Absolutely, and I mean, it seemed pretty good out there. It seemed like a pretty nice atmosphere, but when you kind of build up into semi-finals, has the mood in camp changed at all, or has it kind of stayed consistent?
Yeah, we've prided ourselves on having a really professional camp, but one that you enjoy being in. And I suppose there is a change of mood. It seemed a little bit more focused today. My job is to make sure that they're not overly focused and not playing the game too early in their minds. But yeah, you can feel something different within the camp, a real determination. And you get that from, like you say, winning 3 games. But for us, it's just that gradual build, and we'll take that confidence in tomorrow's game, and hopefully we'll come away with what we feel we deserve.
Of course, it's not just winning 3 games, it's winning them convincingly and conceding just 12 points along the process. Must be pretty pleased with that, and obviously defences take a long time to drill, and that must be something that you're pretty excited about going into a huge game against New Zealand tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think you can beat New Zealand on the back of poor results. I don't think you can beat them on the back of any losses. And within that, you've got to rotate the squad because the games come thick and fast. So, you know, I feel as though at the moment we've got everything right. We've got a well-balanced squad and we've managed to rest some key players. So we're kind of peaking at the right time. And for us, it's never been about winning the game. It's about taking out the tournament. You know, as I said earlier, nothing but winning the World Cup's good enough. You know, getting to a semi-final, putting up a good fight, it's okay, but it's not for us. We're really determined and worked hard to win the tournament, not just a couple of games.
And then lastly, in terms of kind of selection for tomorrow, Vicky Molyneux back into the squad after a rest against Papua New Guinea. I mean, how impressed have you been with her? Obviously, player of the match against Canada, and how much are you excited to see her go in a big game?
Yeah, listen, we know how good Vicky is, and I think she's gone to a new level in the World Cup. It was prevalent she won the Players' Player of the game in the first game. She won the actual Player of the Match in the second game. But, you know, like I say, we try to win the tournament, so the smart thing to do was to rest her because, you know, the data we get back told us that she'd probably done a little bit too much. And, you know, even though we knew it would be tough against PNG, it was about, right, we needed her fresh for the big game, which is the semi-final. So, yeah, it's just so exciting to get her back. You know, you've got local girl Holly Dodd, just as exciting. Holly will play a massive role tomorrow. Tara Stanley, another local girl who's playing for York at the moment. So she'll play a really pivotal role. But, you know, we're not a team of stars, but we're a team of really good, hard-working players.